when I was like 13 or 14, I had a lot of feelings. I had to go to get them out. And that's kind of how I started writing. I just was dealing with like all these feelings that I like, didn't know what to do with. And I also took classes and stuff, and taking classes can be really helpful because they'll give you different exercises, and I learned about different elements of poetry from taking classes, like rhyming or like just different. I mean, I don't really adhere to any kind of structure now with my poetry, but like how to write like a haiku, or like how to write where to cut the lines, because sometimes it's, you know, one sentence that goes on for a few.
Yeah, but aren't like free write poems are a little funner to write than haikus, because you don't have the limitations.
It depends. Sometimes I personally like the free-flowing ones more, but sometimes when you give yourself a limit, it can make you be creative in a way that you weren't before, because you know, like, oh, I have to fit a certain number of like syllables into this line. Like, how do I say it? And you try different ways of saying it, and it can create fun things that you wouldn't have come up with otherwise.
That kind of combines the 2 + 2 smarts to the life smarts when you do it like haiku, because you're because you have to think about the stuff you learned in school and how to organize it, but you also have to try to think freely, like what you've read and what you've learned from what you know in your life.
Yeah, and there's like also an element with poetry and with all writing, I think, that is really trying to be like, what is it that I really want to say? Like, what do I want to express, and sort of how do I want to say it, and kind of like, does it feel right? And then you can kind of feel through the words kind of onto the page.
Can you just like sit down and say, I'm going to write a poem, and just like write it, or do you have to like, it just has to come to you randomly?
Most of them come to me like kind of randomly, but I did go through like about a year where I was sitting down every day to write for like a certain number of hours.
Like more difficult than just like, oh, I need to write this like now, like I have to somehow get it on paper or typing or something.
It's definitely really nice when that happens, but I think when you make a practice of something, it kind of starts the momentum, and it starts your mind kind of thinking. And so I was writing every day, and maybe I wasn't coming up with anything good, but then things were coming to me, you know, because my mind knew this is like what I'm working on. And then I would kind of write just anything, like even if it was like sort of a diary type of entry, and then sometimes something would hit and I'd be like, oh, I have an idea, and then, you know, write it out. Yeah.
Okay, I remember a few years ago, I think like 2 years ago I was obsessed with poetry. I still like writing it sometimes, but I was completely obsessed. I would start a poem, get stuck, and I would give it to my friend to continue writing it, and you'd like pass it back and forth.
Yeah.
And we would end up with something where there's kind of two sides, two different ways of thinking about it in one poem.
Oh man, that's really awesome.
Confusing.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually currently found them. I was going through some old stuff from a few years ago, and I found a bunch of papers from poems that me and my friend just wrote together. Some like kind of weird and awkward, like kind of strange sounding, and some that were like, like I like this. I think so.
Keep those forever. You're gonna like want to look at those when you're older.
That I keep all my notes. Even if it's not a poem you write, like it could be a thought, a poem, a question about life, an entry. You could just, they kind of fit together still.
Yeah.
Because you can make a poem, I think you can make a poem out of a thought or a question.
Yeah. Yeah, you can make a poem out of anything. But like, yeah, just having a thought and kind of exploring it, or having a question and trying to answer it or something is a great way to start one. And I have like, speaking of big things from when we're children, you know, I have things in my book that are like little excerpts that I found from like when I was 7 that I wrote, and I put some of them in there to kind of like, because my poems can be like kind of dark and heavy, so it's fun to have like some humor, some like, you know. Also, I used to be a child, so like, I don't know, like things aren't, I don't know, to kind of intersperse it. So you just never know when you're gonna use stuff. I mean, I still have the poems that I wrote from when I was like 14, and I would probably never show them to anyone, but they were like my first things that I tried, and like I learned from them.
It's like a shock.